The 1976 No Mint Mark $1 coin, also famously known as the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar, is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history that holds immense significance due to its symbolic design, historical timing, and rising collector interest. Issued during the celebration of the 200th anniversary of the United States independence, this coin was struck without a mint mark at the Philadelphia Mint and represents a proud period in the nation's coinage. Today, this coin has captured the attention of collectors worldwide, not only because of its connection to the bicentennial, but also due to its rarity in top condition. Currently, the market value of the 1976 No Mint Mark $1 coin can reach as high as $2,300, particularly for well-preserved, uncirculated, or rare variety examples. Its appeal lies in the combination of patriotic symbolism, unique design elements, and the historical narrative tied to the American bicentennial, which all contribute to its increasing demand in the numismatic market. To truly appreciate this coin, one must first understand its historical backdrop. The year 1976 was monumental in American history, as it marked 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The U.S. Mint decided to celebrate this milestone with special commemorative coinage, including quarters, half dollars, and $1 coins, all of which bore unique bicentennial designs. The Eisenhower dollar, introduced in 1971 to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower, was selected to feature a special reverse design for the bicentennial years of 1975 and 1976. Interestingly, all Eisenhower dollars struck during this period, whether in 1975 or 1976, carried the dual date 1776-1976 rather than their actual year of production. This decision tied the coin forever to America's bicentennial, making it not only a monetary instrument but also a commemorative piece reflecting national pride. The design of the 1976 Eisenhower dollar is a critical part of its charm and value. The obverse retains the familiar portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, symbolizing both the wartime leadership and post-war presidency of Eisenhower, who played a central role in 20th century American history. On the reverse, however, we see a departure from the traditional eagle landing on the moon. Instead, the coin features an iconic bicentennial design created by Dennis R. Williams, the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. This imagery was deeply symbolic, as it represented the merging of America's revolutionary past with its technological achievements in the space age. The Liberty Bell, cracked yet enduring, embodied freedom and independence, while the moon symbolized America's role as a modern pioneer. This design struck a chord with collectors and citizens alike, cementing the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar as one of the most iconic commemorative issues in U.S. history. Another factor that drives the coin's market value is its rarity in pristine condition. Although millions of Eisenhower dollars were struck for circulation, most were used in everyday transactions and consequently suffered from scratches, wear, and loss of luster. Coins without a mint mark, produced at the Philadelphia Mint, often have weaker strikes compared to their counterparts from Denver or San Francisco. This makes high-grade examples particularly scarce and highly sought after. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC report that uncirculated gem-quality specimens of the 1976 No Mint Mark Eisenhower dollar are far rarer than many casual collectors realize. With values reaching up to $2,300, these coins prove how condition and scarcity can elevate a common circulating issue into a numismatic treasure. The numismatic market for Eisenhower dollars has evolved considerably over the past few decades. Once dismissed as bulky coins with limited appeal, Eisenhower dollars have recently enjoyed a renaissance among collectors. The bicentennial issues, in particular, have seen renewed interest as younger generations of collectors appreciate the historical significance and artistry of these coins. Auction records consistently show strong demand for high-quality examples, and even circulated coins hold collectible value due to their historical context. The dual-dated 1776-1976 feature ensures that these coins remain unique within the broader Eisenhower series, further enhancing their long-term desirability. When considering the investment potential, the 1976 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar offers a compelling case. Unlike many modern commemorative issues struck in limited mintages, these coins were mass-produced, but their survival rate in pristine condition is relatively low. As more collectors seek to complete sets of Eisenhower dollars or focus specifically on bicentennial coinage, demand for these coins continues to rise. Furthermore, the historical significance of the bicentennial celebrations ensures that these coins will never lose their cultural relevance. They serve as enduring reminders of America's journey from independence to becoming a global superpower, and such symbolism resonates deeply with both U.S. and international collectors. Another layer of intrigue comes from the varieties and errors associated with the 1976 Eisenhower dollar. While the Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint mark, subtle die variations and striking anomalies have been documented. Collectors specializing in error coins often pay a premium for examples that display off-center strikes, doubled dies, or planchet issues. These rare varieties can fetch prices far above the standard market value, highlighting the importance of careful examination and authentication. Such errors not only increase a coin's monetary worth, but also add to its historical and production story, making it even more appealing to dedicated numismatists. The cultural significance of the 1976 Eisenhower dollar should not be overlooked. For millions of Americans, these coins were tangible souvenirs of the bicentennial celebrations, a time when the nation reflected on its past and looked toward the future with optimism. Fireworks, parades, and patriotic displays dominated the year 1976, and the coins served as both commemorative tokens and everyday reminders of the country's achievements. Collectors today value this emotional connection just as much as the coin's financial worth. Owning a 1976 Eisenhower dollar is like holding a piece of America's bicentennial celebration in your hand, complete with all its pride and symbolism. In conclusion, the 1976 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar coin stands out as one of the most historically significant and collectible issues of the modern era. With its unique dual-date patriotic reverse design and connection to America's 200th anniversary, it has earned a lasting place in U.S. numismatic history. While millions were minted, the scarcity of high-grade examples ensures that collectors are willing to pay premiums reaching up to $2,300 in today's market. This coin embodies the perfect combination of history, artistry, and collectability, making it a must-have for any serious collector. Whether cherished as a patriotic memento, a historical artifact, or a valuable investment, the 1976 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar continues to shine as a symbol of America's enduring legacy and a prized treasure in the numismatic market. Next up, the 1977 D Eisenhower $1 coin is a significant and highly collectible piece of U.S. coinage history that bridges the gap between everyday circulation money and numismatic treasure. And in today's numismatic market, certain pristine examples of this Denver minted issue can command values as high as $2,900. Struck during the later years of the Eisenhower dollar series, which ran from 1971 to 1978, the 1977 D dollar carries with it the legacy of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, while also reflecting the challenges and circumstances of American coinage during the 1970s. The obverse of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparo, features a bold portrait of Eisenhower facing left, capturing his presence not only as the 34th President of the United States, but also as a celebrated World War II general. This design reflects a period in U.S. coinage where the mint sought to honor contemporary leaders and recent history rather than limiting portraits to long-past figures. The reverse, equally iconic, displays the Apollo 11 mission insignia, showing an eagle landing on the moon while holding an olive branch, a design that symbolizes America's triumph in space exploration and its commitment to peace. The imagery of the 1977 D dollar thus unites two great American achievements: Eisenhower's leadership during the mid-20th century and the Apollo program's historic success in 1969, making it a coin rich in both symbolism and patriotic pride. Minted. At the Denver facility, the 1977 D Eisenhower dollar bears the D mint mark, a small but crucial feature that differentiates it from Philadelphia and San Francisco issues. Though millions of these coins were struck for circulation, their large size and heavy copper-nickel-clad composition meant they were rarely used in everyday commerce. Instead, many were stored in bags and rolls by banks or collectors, but the bulk storage often resulted in coins becoming riddled with bag marks, scratches, and dull surfaces. This widespread contact damage is why uncirculated 1977 D Eisenhower dollars in pristine condition are so difficult to find today, and why top-graded examples certified by professional grading services can reach astonishing values around $2,900. While a circulated piece may only trade for face value or a few dollars above it, condition rarity drives the market for high-grade survivors, and these condition rarities are what collectors and investors alike pursue with great passion. From a historical perspective, the 1977 D Eisenhower dollar was minted just 1 year after the famous bicentennial coinage of 1976, which featured special dual-dated designs. Returning to the standard Apollo 11 reverse in 1977 marked the resumption of a more traditional coinage program. Yet the Eisenhower dollar remained special because of its short lifespan and its symbolic designs. In fact, the entire Eisenhower dollar series lasted only 8 years, making it one of the shortest coin series in modern U.S. history. And within that span, the 1977 issues are noteworthy because they represent the second-to-last year of the series. Collectors recognize that coins from the later years of a discontinued series often gain added significance because once the mint transitioned to the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979, the large-format Eisenhower dollar was permanently retired. That sense of finality enhances the appeal of the 1977 D issue since it belongs to the end chapters of the Eisenhower era, a series that itself is beloved for its combination of presidential portraiture and lunar imagery. The rarity and high value of the 1977 D Eisenhower dollar at the $2,900 level comes not from a low mintage but from conditional scarcity. With a mintage in the tens of millions, ordinary examples are common, but few exist in immaculate mint state 67 or higher grades. The mint's handling process and the coin's sheer size ensured that almost every coin received some level of abrasion before even leaving storage. This is why collectors place such emphasis on coins with sharp strikes, lustrous surfaces, and minimal bag marks. Auction records reveal that when a flawless or near-flawless 1977 D Eisenhower dollar appears on the market, collectors bid aggressively, driving the prices into the thousands. This high demand for perfection highlights a central truth in numismatics. It is not always about how many coins were made, but about how many have survived in top condition. The $2,900 price tag reflects the reality that only a handful of these coins exist at the highest levels of preservation, making them extremely desirable trophies for Eisenhower dollar specialists and advanced U.S. coin collectors. The design of the coin also plays a critical role in sustaining its popularity. Frank Gasparo's portrait of Eisenhower is both stately and commanding, a fitting tribute to a leader who played a decisive role in shaping mid-20th century history. Meanwhile, the Apollo 11 reverse captures a moment of American pride, reminding collectors of one of the most monumental achievements in human history, the first moon landing. The eagle landing on the moon, carrying an olive branch, is both peaceful and powerful, encapsulating the idea of exploration guided by hope rather than conquest. For collectors, this imagery resonates deeply because it ties their coin collection not just to a person or a denomination, but to an entire chapter of human progress. The fact that the 1977 dollar carries this lunar design only adds to its desirability, because it makes the coin not only a monetary artifact but also a historical storytelling device. Numismatically, the 1977 Eisenhower dollar occupies a unique space in the collecting community. It is part of a series that is often underrated by casual observers but highly cherished by dedicated specialists. The sheer size of the Eisenhower dollar, larger than the half-dollar and quarter, gives it an impressive physical presence, and, when found in uncirculated condition, the coin's luster and detail can be striking. Collectors often pursue Eisenhower dollars in complete sets, and within such sets, the 1977 is a critical piece, especially when assembled in high mint state grades. Many collectors also enjoy assembling type sets that include the 1977 alongside earlier issues and the bicentennial designs, which together tell the story of the Eisenhower dollar's brief but fascinating journey. The coin thus appeals both to collectors who want to complete a series and to those who want a historical centerpiece for their collection. The investment potential of the 1977 Eisenhower dollar has grown in recent decades as more collectors recognize the value of condition rarity. In the past, the series was sometimes overlooked because it lacked silver content in most issues, but today's market shows that historical importance, design, and condition can outweigh intrinsic metal value. As prices for high-grade examples reach $2,900, collectors understand that this coin has become a benchmark of quality within the series. Investors view such coins as long-term stores of value because the limited number of surviving high-grade examples ensures that demand will always outpace supply. The popularity of Eisenhower dollars continues to rise, especially among younger collectors who appreciate the space-themed design and the patriotic symbolism, ensuring that demand for coins like the 1977 will remain strong for years to come. In a conclusion, the 1977 Eisenhower $1 coin is far more than just a piece of 1970s pocket change. It is a historical artifact that unites the legacy of Dwight D. Eisenhower with the triumph of the Apollo 11 moon landing, struck during the final years of a short-lived but beloved coin series. Its Denver mint mark signifies a massive mintage, yet its true value lies not in numbers but in rarity of condition, with pristine examples reaching a market value of $2,900 in today's numismatic market. Collectors and investors alike prize the coin for its bold design, patriotic symbolism, and the challenge it presents in finding flawless survivors. As a result, the 1977 dollar stands as one of the most valuable issues in the Eisenhower series and a shining example of how history, design, and condition converge to create numismatic greatness. Whether treasured as part of a complete set, sought after as an investment, or admired as a patriotic keepsake, this coin continues to inspire fascination and pride, proving that even within modern American coinage, true rarities exist, and, when they appear, they capture the imagination and command the respect of the collecting world. Next up, the 1974 No Mint Mark Eisenhower $1 coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint is one of the most iconic pieces in modern American numismatics and remains highly collectible due to its design, historical context, and scarcity in top condition, with some examples in superb grades today reaching a market value of around $1,900. The Eisenhower dollar series, produced between 1971 and 1978, was the last large-sized dollar coin struck for circulation in the United States, and the 1974 issue stands out as a pre-bicentennial release that carried the standard Apollo 11 reverse design. On the obverse of the coin, designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, we see a left-facing portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, whose legacy as the 34th president and a five-star general during World War II made him an enduring figure in American history. His portrait is bold, dignified, and symbolic of strong leadership in a time of great challenges, from wartime command to the early years of the Cold War. The reverse, also designed by Gasparo, features the Apollo 11 mission, insignia, a bald eagle landing on the surface of the moon, holding an olive branch in its talons, with Earth visible above. This reverse design commemorates the historic 1969 moon landing and represents both technological triumph and the desire for peace, embodying a dual legacy of military leadership and space exploration that defined America in the mid-20th century. Together, the obverse and reverse of the 1974 Eisenhower dollar make it more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of American pride, achievement, and progress. Unlike issues from Denver or San Francisco, the 1974 Eisenhower dollars from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, which sometimes creates confusion for new collectors, but is a hallmark of coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint during that era. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins for circulation, but as with all Eisenhower dollars, the massive size and heavy copper-nickel-clad composition made them impractical for daily use. As a result, many ended up in storage, bank rolls or bags, but this did not preserve them in perfect shape. Instead, the bulk storage methods caused widespread abrasions, scratches, and contact marks. The sheer size of the Eisenhower dollar made it especially prone to nicks and scuffs compared to smaller denominations like the quarter or dime, so finding coins with clean, lustrous surfaces is a challenge today. This is why most 1974 no mint Mark Eisenhower dollars trade for only modest premiums over face value when circulated, but condition rarity comes into play at the higher levels. Collectors prize superb examples with sharp strikes, blazing mint luster, and minimal marks, and it is these rare coins in top mint state 67 or higher grades that can command values as high as $1,900 in the numismatic market. The market for this coin is driven not only by rarity of condition, but also by its place in the larger Eisenhower dollar series. The 1974 issue marks the last standard Apollo 11 reverse before the 1976 bicentennial redesign, which featured the Liberty Bell and moon. This means the 1974 dollar holds a transitional role in the series, representing the final year of the regular, designed before the country's coinage shifted to commemorate the 200th anniversary of American independence. Collectors often seek complete sets of Eisenhower dollars, and within those sets, the 1974 no mint mark coin is an essential piece. Its position as a late pre-bicentennial issue gives it historical importance and ensures ongoing demand among series collectors, type collectors, and those who specialize in modern American coinage. Additionally, because the Philadelphia Mint coins generally have weaker strikes and more bag marks compared to Denver issues, high-grade Philadelphia examples are scarcer and thus more valuable, adding another layer of desirability to the 1974 no mint mark dollar. Historically, the Eisenhower dollar series is significant because it represented a bridge between earlier silver dollars like the Morgan and Peace series and later small-sized dollars like the Susan B. Anthony and Sacagawea issues. The Eisenhower was the first dollar coin issued after the peace dollar ended in 1935, marking the return of a circulating dollar denomination after decades of absence. However, unlike its silver predecessors, the circulating 1974 no mint mark dollar was made of copper nickel clad, reflecting the new economic realities of the 1970s when silver was removed from most U.S. coinage. Only special collector's editions, such as certain San Francisco issues, contain 40% silver. This distinction adds interest to the series because it highlights the shift in American coinage away from precious metals toward base metal circulation strikes. For collectors, the 1974 no mint mark Eisenhower dollar thus represents a key chapter in that transition, making it historically significant even beyond its condition rarity. The appeal of the coin also lies in its connection to two major narratives in American history: the presidency of Dwight D. Eisenhower and the Apollo 11 moon landing. Eisenhower's portrait, connects the coin to a leader whose policies shaped America in the post-war era, from the creation of the interstate highway system to the early years of the space race itself. The reverse imagery of the eagle landing on the moon directly ties the coin to the ultimate success of that space race, a moment that defined American identity in the Cold War and continues to inspire awe today. Collectors who own a 1974 no-mint Mark Eisenhower dollar are thus holding a coin that simultaneously commemorates a president, a war hero, and humanity's first steps on another world, making it a coin rich with meaning. The artistry of the design, though sometimes criticized as simple compared to older dollars, has grown in appreciation over time, especially among collectors who value the historical context as much as the visual details. From a numismatic market perspective, the 1974 no-mint Mark Eisenhower dollar has become increasingly valuable in recent years as collectors recognize the importance of condition rarity in modern issues. In the past, coins like this were sometimes dismissed as common, but as grading services like PCGS and NGC began certifying them in high mint state grades, it became clear how few truly pristine examples survive. Today, coins graded MS-67 or higher are recognized as scarce, and these are the pieces that reach values of around $1,900 at auction. Collectors understand that while the mintage was high, the number of coins meeting this standard is low, and that scarcity drives competition. Auction houses frequently highlight top-quality Eisenhower dollars because they generate excitement and attract bidders from around the world. Investors also see potential in such coins because the limited supply and growing demand suggest long-term stability and possible appreciation in value. In conclusion, the 1974 no-mint Mark Eisenhower $1 coin is much more than just a piece of 1970s change. It is a historical artifact that captures both America's presidential legacy and its triumph in space exploration, while also representing the economic and cultural shifts of its time. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, it was released in large numbers, but only a few have survived in the pristine condition required to command significant value. It is these condition rarities, with their sharp strikes, strong luster, and minimal marks, that elevate the coin's numismatic worth to as high as $1,900 in today's market. As part of the short-lived Eisenhower series, the 1974 issue is also notable for being the last of the standard Apollo reverse designs before the bicentennial celebrations, giving it added historical weight. Collectors treasure it not just for its scarcity and top grades, but also for the stories it tells, of Dwight D. Eisenhower's leadership, of the Apollo 11 moon landing, and of America's evolving coinage in the 1970s. Whether pursued as part of a complete Eisenhower set, held as a standalone collectible, or acquired as an investment in condition rarity, the 1974 no-mint Mark Eisenhower dollar remains a fascinating and valuable coin, proving that even in the modern era, numismatic treasures exist for those who seek them. Next up, the 1978 no-mint Mark Eisenhower $1 coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, stands as a historically important and highly collectible issue that represents both the end of an era in United States coinage and a key highlight for numismatists, with pristine examples today fetching values as high as $3,900 in the numismatic market. This coin was part of the final production year of the Eisenhower dollar series, which ran from 1971 to 1978, making it historically significant as the last of the large-format U.S. dollar coins before the transition to the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979. On the obverse of the coin, designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, is a left-facing portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States, and one of the most distinguished military leaders of World War II. Eisenhower's likeness is bold and commanding, symbolizing his pivotal role as Supreme Allied Commander in Europe and his steady leadership as President during the Cold War. The reverse of the coin, equally iconic, depicts the Apollo 11 mission. Insignia, an eagle landing on the surface of the moon with an olive branch in its talons, with Earth visible in the distance. This design, also by Gasparo, commemorates the first moon landing in 1969 and honors one of America's greatest achievements in human history, making the coin a dual tribute to Eisenhower's legacy and the nation's triumph in space exploration. The combination of Eisenhower's portrait and the lunar eagle design makes the 1978 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar a powerful historical artifact, representing both leadership and discovery in the American story. The absence of a mint mark identifies this coin as a product of the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not use a mint mark on its Eisenhower dollars. While the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of 1978 Eisenhower dollars for circulation, the large size and heavy copper-nickel-clad composition of the coin made it unpopular for everyday transactions. Most Americans found the Eisenhower dollar bulky compared to paper bills and smaller coins, and as a result, many of the coins went directly into storage rather than circulating widely. Unfortunately, storage methods of the time were not kind to these large coins, as they were kept in bulk bags or rolls where they rubbed against one another, resulting in widespread scratches, contact marks, and diminished luster. This makes finding a 1978 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar in pristine condition exceptionally difficult today, and that difficulty is precisely what drives the coin's market value. Circulated examples are generally worth only a small premium over face value, but top-quality uncirculated examples graded MS-67 or higher are condition rarities, and it is these few surviving gems that can command prices as high as $30,900. Collectors place special importance on the 1978 Eisenhower dollar because it represents the final chapter of the series. Introduced in 1971, the Eisenhower dollar was America's first circulating dollar coin since the peace dollar ended in 1935, and it was the only large-sized dollar coin produced in the modern era. However, the series lasted just 8 years before being replaced by the smaller, more practical Susan B. Anthony dollar. This gives the 1978 issue historical significance, as it was the very last Eisenhower dollar struck for circulation. Numismatists often see end-of-series coins as especially collectible because they mark the conclusion of a chapter in U.S. coinage. For the Eisenhower series, the 1978 no-mint mark dollar is that ending, and it stands as a closing tribute to both Eisenhower's legacy and the lunar reverse that had become iconic in the series. Collectors often want to complete Eisenhower sets, and the 1978 Philadelphia issue is a required piece in those sets, particularly sought after in top condition. While the total mintage numbers were high, condition rarity is the factor that elevates the 1978 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar into a valuable numismatic treasure. Most of the coins are heavily marked or poorly struck, with lackluster surfaces and weak details, especially around Eisenhower's portrait and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Collectors searching for coins with sharp details, vibrant luster, and clean fields face a major challenge, and when such coins are found, they attract intense interest at auction. Certified examples graded Mint State 67 or higher are rare, and these are the coins that can reach $3,900 or more in today's market. Auction records confirm that demand is strong for these high-grade survivors, as advanced collectors and investors understand the scarcity and historical importance of the issue. In fact, the value is less about the sheer number of coins struck, and more about the very limited number of near-perfect examples that exist today, which highlights a central principle in numismatics. Rarity in condition can be as important as rarity in mintage. Beyond its market value, the 1978 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar also carries cultural and symbolic importance. The obverse portrait of Eisenhower serves as a reminder of a leader who not only guided America through critical years of the Cold War, but also oversaw the foundation of programs like NASA, which would later make the Apollo missions possible. The reverse lunar design immortalizes the Apollo 11 landing, a moment that united the world in awe and established America as a pioneer in space exploration. Together, these designs create a coin that embodies themes of leadership, exploration, and peace, resonating with collectors on more than just a financial level. Owning such a coin means holding a tangible link to both the legacy of a great president and one of humanity's greatest achievements. The artistry and symbolism of the design make the 1978 Eisenhower dollar not just a collectible, but also a storytelling piece carrying with it the spirit of mid-20th century America. The investment potential of the 1978 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar has steadily increased as collectors recognize the difficulty of finding top-grade examples. While common circulated coins remain inexpensive, the condition rarities command strong prices and are considered excellent long-term investments. As more collectors seek to build complete Eisenhower sets, demand for the 1978 Philadelphia issue in mint state 67 or higher continues to rise, and with limited supply, values are expected to remain strong. Investors who acquire one of these high-grade coins are essentially purchasing a piece of numismatic history that is unlikely to lose its appeal. The coin's market value of $3,900 reflects not only its condition rarity but also the increasing appreciation for the Eisenhower series as a whole. Once overlooked by some numismatists, the series has gained recognition in recent decades for its historical context, bold designs, and relatively short run, which together make it a rewarding field of study and collecting. In conclusion, the 1978 no-mint mark Eisenhower $1 coin is far more than just a final-year circulation strike. It is a historically significant artifact that represents the end of America's last large-sized dollar series and the enduring legacy of both Dwight D. Eisenhower and the Apollo 11 moon landing. Though millions were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark and the challenges of bulk storage mean that only a small fraction survive in pristine condition today. It is these condition rarities, with sharp strikes, brilliant luster, and minimal marks, that command extraordinary values of up to $30,900 in the numismatic market. Collectors treasure the coin for its symbolic designs, its place in American history, and its role as the final chapter of the Eisenhower dollar series. Whether pursued for personal collection, historical significance, or investment potential, the 1978 no-mint mark Eisenhower dollar remains one of the most fascinating and valuable coins of the modern U.S. era, proving that even relatively recent issues can achieve true numismatic greatness when history, rarity, and condition intersect.